Today we are going to review both bulk mail and eCards. You see here I am logged into my Coach Online office. So I'm going to first show you how to set up lists, and then we'll go into eCards, and then we'll go into bulk mail. So first, let's go ahead and set up our lists. Go to My Desk, My Contacts, Manage Lists. Here you see I have a number of lists set up. I have one for customers, I have one for PS coaches, and then I have various imports from social media, my address books. So let's go ahead and set up a new list. For example, we'll type in the word example and then add list. In this here drop down, I can select from some pre-configured options. I can choose my downline if I was going to create a list of all of my PS coaches, or I can choose customers for all of my customers, select all of the names in the list, and then add to list. You'll see I have 419 members. I always want to double check to make sure that number is the same or similar, so 419. Sometimes that number will not be the same. If they have chosen to opt out of messaging, then you'll see that number reduced. Go back to now manage lists. Here's my list of examples. Let's say for example this was either a customer or PS coaches list, and I wanted to update it because either signed new coaches or I have added customers since the last time I refreshed the list. Click on the blue box for edit list. I remove everyone. Click add to list. Again, 419, 419, and I can now use this list. Now that I've got my list and you've learned how to edit or update the list, let's go into eCards. My Desk, My eCards, create an eCard, and you can now scroll through, view all of the various eCards. Simply select the eCard, in this case the thank you eCard, and I can type in a message. Make sure your name, your phone number, your contact information. In the More Info URL, you can include a link back to your Beachbody store. I send a link back to my Facebook personal page. I've made it easier for them to friend me, which makes it easier for me to connect with them on Facebook so they learn or see about my various posts. Click on next. I now will see a preview of my eCard. Here you can see my custom text. Thank you for being my customer, along with the link to my Facebook account and my contact information. Now here I'll want to, one, edit my email subject line to, I'm going to say test. Now here is where I can see my lists. So in the drop down, select choose from a list, and I can now see all of the various lists that I have created. In this case, I'm going to choose example, click add, and now there's a couple of things to note. Up here you'll see maximum recipients per email is 500. You do not want to have more than 500 people in a list. The maximum recipients per week is 3,500, and we have our count, our accumulated recipients this week. In this case, I sent 1,077 eCards over the weekend, introducing my May 14th challenge groups. Click on send now, and it will then proceed to send this eCard to everyone who's in my list, which then brings you to the status screen. Until the status says sent, you do not want to move from the screen or make any changes. Wait until it says sent. There is sometimes a hiccup in the system which will end up sending your invitation 2, 3, 4 times to your recipients. So you always want to leave the focus on the screen until the status says sent. Once I've done that, I can now preview to see the resulting page. I can add recipients, which would then allow me to choose another list to send to. Let's say I want to come back later on this afternoon and see who has all viewed my list. Same thing, My Desk, My eCards, Manage My eCards. I can then see all of the eCards that I've sent in the past. Click on Details, and I can now see who has viewed my eCard, who has opted out of receiving my eCards, change my view, I can see what day they viewed the e-card. Next page. And now I can see here this individual viewed the e-card 66 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So you can now see who's interacting with your emails, who's taking a look at them. Typically this is somebody I would want to contact. What interested them? Anyone who's viewed the e-card at least more than once, I'm going to then follow up with them and find out what interested them or how I may be of best assistance to them. Now we're going to move into bulk mail. I can either go back to my contacts, select a list, and then send bulk mail. This will automatically have all of my customers selected in this particular view. Click here to compose an email. You can see now that all of those individuals who were selected are now in my address field. I can go back in here and choose from a list if I wanted to, fill in my subject line, and then type my message. You can then use these here features to highlight your message or to create hyperlinks within your message, just like you would within your email application or webmail application. Once completed, click on send. Your message will then be sent. Another way is go to my business, my customers, customer search, show report. Now here I'm in my customer list. You'll see I have 499 customers. So of that 419 on the previous screen, that means 90 people are restricted customers that have not provided their email address yet. Here I can either click on eCard or send bulk mail. Take me to the eCard creation screen or into the bulk mail screen.